All right, guys, we got Trump coming from the White House.
Two world's largest pharmaceutical manufacturers, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, have agreed to offer their most popular GLP-1 weight loss drug.
This is about Ozempic?
At
Really?
drastic discounts. They're very effective drugs. So far, I've never heard anything bad about them. I only hear good about them. It's pretty. Is there anything bad about them, Bob? Yeah, I heard anything bad. Someday, maybe it'll come out.
Man, I don't know. I don't know if Ozempic is a pressing issue.
Zepbound, often called Ozempic.
Yeah.
It's a triumph for American
GLP-1s are all the
patients that will
Ozempic
save
class
lives
stuff.
and improve the health of millions and millions of Americans. Amazing thing. They are amazing. I want to thank Eli Lilly CEO David Ricks, a friend of mine. We worked long and hard. He and I got this whole thing started in a way. And Novo Nordisk CEO Mike Dustar for joining us today.
So the big news is he's getting Ozempic cheaper. Is that all it is?
Great, talented people. They make a lot of money.
I don't know. His press conferences are still usually pretty fun. So
doing very well. Along with Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Secretary Howard Lutnick. Do you take
let's see
any
if
of
he
this stuff,
goes
Howard?
off.
Not yet.
Okay, good. CMS Administrator Mehmet Oz, he doesn't take it. Food and Drug Administrator, Commissioner Marty McCary, and Director of Medicare Chris Klump. And we have Steve, where's Steve? CEO, Head of Public Relations for the White House. He's taking
Initial
it.
dose 100.
The United States is
Is
just
that
4% of the
350?
world's population and consumes only 13% of all prescription drugs, yet pharmaceutical companies make 75% of their profits from the American customer. I would say that's not so good, right?
I mean, I saw
Not
the
exactly
headline,
good.
Trump
To address
speaking
this
from the White
chronic unfairness, I
House
signed
on
an
medical
executive order
costs.
earlier this year
I thought it'd be something a
instructing my
little bit better
administration to
than
do everything in our power to
Ozempic.
implement most favored nations drug pricing, something that has been helped greatly by tariffs, because when nations refuse to do it, we should have put this in the case yesterday. I just say, well, if you're not going to do it, we're going to charge you a like amount of tariffs.
Like,
And
the
they immediately say,
GLP-1s
"We'll do
make
it,"
me nervous, man.
which means that Americans should pay no
Seems
more
like
than the
it's too
lowest
new of a
price
thing for how
offered anywhere in
many
the world.
people are on it.
So that you've
Like-
heard for years the disparity where you'll pay $150 for a pill in
And
New
especially,
York, and you'll pay
like-
$10 for a pill in London. Now
Like, it's one thing if you have diabetes and you're taking it, but just for weight loss?
you're going to pay $20 both, because the world is a little bit bigger than the U.S., so it goes up that way. But you'll pay $20 and $20. A tremendous advantage to our country after years of being abused by the world system. Already Pfizer, AstraZeneca,
I agree, our
and
medical
EMD,
prices in general are
Serono
crazy,
have
though.
agreed to drastically lower their prices for American patients. And today, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk are joining the phenomenal list of the most exciting announcements. I mean, nobody's ever had announcements like, and this has to do with other pharmaceutical products also.
Okay.
But we're covering this today because it's such a big seller. I guess it's the #1 selling thing there is today. These are two companies that behind the groundbreaking weight loss drugs that have helped millions of Americans struggling with obesity live better, longer lives,
They
everything
got the
else. These are the
government
two
shutdown countdown in the bottom right.
companies that really broke ground. Until now, neither of these two popular drugs have been covered by Medicare for weight loss, and they've only rarely been covered by Medicaid. They've often cost consumers more than $1,000 per month, and some a lot more than that. Americans have been spending as much as 520% more for Zepbound and 1,400% more for Wegovy than patients in Europe. Think of that. 1,400% more than a patient in Europe for the exact same box.
I mean, that is
And then
crazy.
starting today, The
No
other
doubt, that
countries
is
are not
crazy.
happy with us. I don't think they like me too much, Bobby, but that's okay. Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk are committing to offer Zepbound and Wegovy at most favored nations rates for American patients. This will slash the cost of Wegovy from $1,350 a month to ultimately $250 a month.
Well, this
$1,350
just
to
happened, but
$250. Did I
I
do a
might
good
need to
job?
fast forward. I don't
They don't write
really
about
care
it, you
about
know,
Ozempic
the
being
museum,
cheaper.
which is now shuttered up and dead. They got it up, and they couldn't finish. It's about, would you say?
Declaring war on chronic disease.
That I can tell you that David Ricks is one of the hottest people in the
I
world.
wonder if they're
in
really
business,
going to
but,
try and like
the
push
business that he's in
Ozempic,
is pharmaceutical. And
like
the
to
job he's
handle
done with Eli
the
Lilly is
obesity
incredible. Both
epidemic
of
and
these
stuff.
gentlemen,
Is that like
they
the
really are
plan?
stars in the truest sense. And it's an honor to have you in the White House. And go to it, Bobby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to start by thanking you, Mr. President, for declaring war on chronic disease in this country. This is something no American president has ever done. If we want to solve the chronic disease crisis, we have to tackle obesity. Obesity is the #1 driver of chronic disease. 50%
That is where they're
of
going
our
with it.
adult population are obese or overweight, and it drives about 50% of healthcare costs in this country. Diabetes, cardiac diseases, we are going to see a decline because of this historic agreement.
I don't know, man. Like Ozempic and all those just give real, like, Ronavax vibes to me. Like, it's so new, right? Like, this has been like a year or so that these drugs have been used regularly. We don't really know what the long-term downshot is.
We're going to see a decline in cost, but also, more importantly, in the afflictions themselves. It's going to change. We will lose, the American public, because of this agreement, will lose 125 million pounds by this time next year. So it is going to have dramatic effects.
I mean, I guess the argument, right, is the stuff that happens from being way overweight is a lot worse than what potential side effects are from Ozempic, right?
On human health in this country.
But anybody could do that.
You keep saying he's the smartest guy in industry, that he could talk a dog off a meat truck. But it came to the table, and Mike Newstar told me, he said,
Convince people for 20 years that it was okay for Europe to pay $10 and for America to pay $140. That's why they make 45, 50 million a year. He did. Finally, I said, I've had it, right?
You did.
He did. But anybody could do that. They're
You guys
entitled.
laugh about the
Now
American
it's
people
down
getting
to what it should be.
scammed.
and Mike Newstar told me what a pleasure it was to negotiate with people who were smart, who had common sense, who were able to put themselves in his position and hammer out this deal that is good for everybody. And it's great for the American public. I want to close again by just saying that this is a tool in the toolkit. It is not a silver bullet. It is an arrow in our quiver. It will allow a lot of people who are locked into high-risk obesity to finally lose weight, to reset. That the mothers of small kids talk to their physicians, and we've advised the physicians to
guys, we got
reduce
Dr.
the
Oz
thresholds and
coming
to
up.
reduce the amount of
Dr.
Tylenol that they
Oz.
give to children as much as possible, and only use it when it's absolutely critical.
Thank you.
At least you said that.
So
Only use it
we're
when
going to
it's
go through some of the
absolutely
deal
critical.
points, but it does make itself clear that the real stake here is the forgotten man. President Trump, I believe you won the election because you remember the forgotten man. You speak to them, they hear you, they listen to you, and he connects well because he actually does things that materially change their lives. Secretary Kennedy spoke passionately, as he always does, about the problems with obesity. And just to put some very fine point numbers on this, obesity itself is responsible for half of all chronic disease and definitely generates more
Yeah, being
Secretary
fat is
Kennedy
bad.
mentioned New York City.
All of the fat positivity influencers, I'm sorry, but being fat is bad. That's why most of the fat positivity influencers are dead.
Actually, the #1 zip code is the Upper East Side, which is where you have property. And folks who know ritzy areas buy important real estate there because those real estate properties are worth a lot there. That should not be the #1 zip code in America for purchasing GLP-1 drugs. It speaks to the fact that we have an inherently, innately unfair system that penalizes folks who can use these medications the most.
Right? Fair point, right? If the richest areas are the one buying the most of the drugs, that kind of tells you something.
Folks in the Rust Belt. Now, what are you supposed to do if the right thing to do for your health is right there, but you can't afford to get it? Folks need to be able to utilize these life-saving medications, and being fair about its distribution is essential. And we are democratizing access to these medications and dealing. This wouldn't have happened if we didn't have the right tools.
Is believing that your life has value.
I don't really care what
$245 a month,
say.
all covered doses.
Doesn't look like they have any press conference or anything last year. No, I mean, wait a sec. What was that? Hold on. Is there? Somebody pass out?
Today we. Oh, are you okay? Gordon, you okay?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Ew. I almost missed that. What? That's crazy.
All right, so we did just see something unexpected happening inside the Oval Office. President Trump just making the announcement that a deal has been made to cut weight loss drugs. But take a look, what was on our screen right there, 2 live streams inside the Oval Office has abruptly turned black, and that is because one of the folks appeared to have some sort of medical incident, fainting or losing consciousness of some sort. So the announcement abruptly ending right there on the feeds. And instead, what we do see is this. We see a White House shot now being brought up after President Trump says that
that's crazy. Oh, and I was messing with my audio a little bit. Let me crank my mic down. Yo, that's crazy. So as a pharmaceutical executive, wow, that's pretty wild. Well, hopefully he's okay. As far as the free Ozempic for all goes, I guess Trump's plan is to give everybody Ozempic. I don't know. I think the government shutdown needs to be handled a little more, but wow, that was a pretty crazy way to end that. I had a bunch of thoughts I was gonna share, but that's that's wild. But yeah, I think, you know, if you're diabetic, if you have heart disease, anything like that, where the med could potentially save you from immediate danger, then I think, hey, go ahead and take it. If you're just taking it for vanity, I think like it's a little too soon to be using it for that. I don't know. Some people trust the drug companies. I lived through, you know, all the things we've had the last 30 years between Oxycontin and the vaccine and everything else, to where I'm not really trusting of the pharmaceutical companies. So I don't plan to be going on a GLP-1 anytime soon. I could stand to lose a few pounds, but I'd rather try other things before that. Now, if I was, you know, if my doctor told me, hey, you could, because of your weight, you could drop dead from a heart attack at any moment, well then, yeah, sign me up for a GLP-1. Even if there's some, you know, bad side effects, it destroys my liver or something in 20 years, then it would still be worth it to alleviate that immediate risk. But I guess anybody can buy Ozempic now. It's going to be cheaper and more accessible, and so we'll see. But that's about it, guys. Have a good day. And don't forget to keep praying.